So in our previous lecture, we have seen what is the forfeiture of shares, how we can pass a journal entry if the share were forfeited, which were issued at par. Right? We have solved questions also, but in that question, the entries that we passed was only related to forfeiture and breach. Right? So in today's class, we will solve the questions in which we have to pass the entry for application allotment, then area, etc., and then forfeiture and breach, right? So the question that we are going to solve today is question number 22, which is based on forfeiture of share which were issued at par, right? So let's see what is given in the question. So it is given on 1st April 2019, Kanishk Limited made an issue of 4,000 equity share of rupees 100 each payable as follows. So the company decided to issue 4,000 shares and the issue price will be 100 rupees each, right? And now how company is going to ask this 100 rupees? So on application it is given as 30 rupees, on allotment that is 20, on first call that is 40, and on second call that is 10. Okay, so in total that will be 100, right? Okay. Now it is given that application were received for 10,000 share and pro rata allotment was made to all the applicants. Remember one thing, here it is given that we received application for 10,000 share and the maximum that we can give is 4,000 share. But the thing here is that it is mentioned in the question that we are making pro rata allotment, means we will make the allotment in partial, but that are in full, means we are not returning the money even of a single people. To the applicant of 10,000, we are giving 4,000. There is no situation like that from this 2,000 to the holder of 2,000 will not give even a single share. Right? So there is no point of refunding any money. Whatever the excess will be, what will be the excess? That's very easy to find. Difference multiplied by application amount. And the application amount is 30 rupees and difference is 6,000. So that will be 18. So we have 1,80,000 rupees of advance. And this advance or excess money belongs to how many number of shareholders? 4,000. Never say that this belongs to 10,000. Because we have given shares to only 4,000 people, right? And those 4,000 applied for 10,000. So the excess money that we are having belongs to 4,000 people and that is 1,80,000. Now tell me one thing, here do we need to check that criteria that we were checking? The limit that we were checking before adjusting that excess money in allotment and calls and advance. Actually we don't need to check. Because there are not other people now. There is only one category. This. Is it clear now? So here we don't need to check that limit separately. Okay. Now what other things are given? That excess money received on application was utilized towards allotment and subsequent calls. So whatever the excess money is, company can use that in allotment and in calls if that is excess. Okay. Then one shareholder who had applied for 500 did not pay the final call. So one of the shareholder has not paid the final call, that is the second call, but it is given that he applied for 500 shares. Remember one thing. Okay. If I am saying that a person who has applied for 500 shares, he did not given you the second call, what are the number of shares that you are going to forfeit? 500? Actually no, because that is the number of applied now. We need to know the number of allotted shares. In other questions, it was given that a person who is holding this much number of shares has not paid the money. So we were exactly knowing that on how many number of share amount is not received. But here thing is, we don't have given that this person holds this much share. We have given that this person was applied for this much share. So in this case, firstly we need to know the number of share allotted to this person. And how we can get to know, sir, that is very easy. See, if you want to know the number of share allotment, the name of that person is given or not? No. Okay. See, we want to know the number of share allotted now. So you have, it is already given the category with which that person belongs. There is only one category, and in this category, the person who applied for 10,000 has given a share of 4,000. It is clear now? The person who applied for 10,000 has given 4,000. So see one thing, if we have given 4,000 to the people who applied for how many shares? That is clear now? So if someone applied for one share, how many we have given to them? 4,000 divided by 10,000. This point is clear. If we have given 4,000 share to 10,000, that is number of share allotted, and this is number of share applied. So the person who applied for 10,000, we have given them 4,000. So the person who applied for one share, how many number of share given to them? That is 4,000 divided by 10,000. If you have any confusion that which should be written before and after, so that is very easy. What we have given? We have given applied now. So whatever the thing is given to you, that will be after that, below, right? That will be. Is it clear now? Any confusion? So if you have any confusion, that firstly we should answer 4,000 or 10,000. So remember one thing, if you have given applied, so denominator will be applied. Right? Any confusion in this one? Okay. So this way we can find, so that will be how much? 200. Is it clear now? So that means a person who applied for 500 share, but we given them 200 share, has not paid what, sir? Second call. This is clear how we found this number of share allotted. Let's suppose in the same question, this 200 is given, allotted is given, and we want to know applied. Right? So what is given, sir? Allotted is given, that means divided by allotted. Okay, so applied will be, getting my point? You can remember it two ways. First one, sir, whatever the thing we have given, that will be below. One way. Second way, sir, whatever the thing that we need to find. In this example, we need to find applied, because we are taking allotted now. So whatever the thing which you want to know, that will be above. That will be first way. Is it clear now? So this way you can remember it. Any confusion? Clear now? Now we are knowing that a person who applied for 500 share, but actually we have given them 200 share, is not have made a default in the final call. Okay. Now what other things are given? So it is given that out of the forfeited share, company reissued 150 share as fully paid at 90 per share. Now it is given that whatever the number of share company forfeited how many number of shares? 200. From this 200, company reissued how many shares? 150 shares. And at what rate, sir? 90 rupees per share. But company is assuming this as fully paid up. Means 10 rupees is given as a discount to the new holder. So what was given in this question, that a company issued 4,000 share of the at 100 rupees each, and the amount was payable as 30 on application, 20 on allotment, 40 on first call, and 10 rupees on final call. Now what the thing was, that public applied for 10,000, but in no case company can give more than 4,000. So company decided that we will make the pro rata allotment to all the applicants. We will not refund money even of a single shareholder. So company has given 4,000 share to the applicant of 10,000. Right? Now from this 10,000 of applicant, there was an applicant who applied for 500 share and to whom we allotted 200 share. Made a default in the final call and company forfeited his 200 share. Right? Now after forfeiting these 200 share, company decided to reissue 150 from this 200 to another person at a price of 90 rupees per share. But company is assuming that these shares which were reissued are fully paid. Fully paid means now the company is not going to ask the remaining 10 rupees. So that will be a kind of discount. Is it clear now? And now we have to pass the journal entries. Okay. So let's start from the application. The first entry will be what? Bank account debit to share application. Now we received application for how many number of share? 10,000 multiplied by 30. So that will be 3 lakh. Then the next entry will credit the application with whatever amount we have, we will debit with whatever amount we have already credited. So next entry, share application will be debited with the same amount figure. Now what I have told you, that do one thing, firstly refund the excess money. So do we have any amount to be refunded? Because there is no person to whom nil share is given. So to bank will not be written, right? The second thing is adjust the money to share capital for those number of share to whom you have given the share. So we have given share to 4,000 people, right? So 4,000 multiplied by 30. That money we can transfer to capital. Any confusion? Now you can see the excess is same, 180 difference and 180 that we already decided. Now this excess money we can adjust in what, sir? Allotment. So if you are adjusting in allotment, you will write allotment, and if you are adjusting in calls, you will write calls in advance. Right? Okay. Now we will not write the 180 directly. First we will see that how much amount was payable. So 4,000 people multiplied by 20. 80,000, but the advance is 180. That means the whole 80,000 will be adjusted, and it also means that there will be no entry for bank for allotment, because all the people have already paid the allotment money. Getting my point now? Okay. Now still we have 1 lakh rupees of advance left now, that we can use for calls. So firstly let's check the limit. So 40 multiplied by 4,000, that is 160. So 1,60,000 is the amount which you will receive for first call, and advance is 1 lakh. So we can adjust that 1 lakh of advance. Now there is no advance left, and you will receive 60,000 the remaining balance on first call. And for second call you have to receive all the money which is due. No confusion now? This entry is clear? Okay. Now if this is clear, as things are easy, the second entry will be related to allotment, and that will be share allotment debit to share capital. And that will be 4,000 shares multiplied by allotment money, that is 20. And this will be 80,000. Now allotment is due, we have to receive allotment, so entry will be bank account debit to share allotment. But should we pass that entry? No, because allotment was due for 80 and it is already credited by 80. All the money is already received, so there will be no bank entry for allotment. Because that is already received, right? Now what entry will be? So that will be for share first call. Share first call debit to share capital, and that will be on 4,000 share multiplied by 40. So that will be 1,60,000. But that is the amount of due. Now we have to receive this amount, right? And the entry of receiving will be bank account debit We have calls in advance also. So calls in advance debit to share first call. Now we have due entries with 1,60,000. So we'll credit first call with same amount 1,60,000. From this 160, 1 lakh is already in calls in advance. So for this 160, we will adjust 1 lakh from advance, and remaining 60 we will receive from public. Any confusion in this? This is clear now. We will receive the remaining 60,000 from public. So we are done with first call. Now we have the entry of final call, and first entry related to final call will be due entry, and that will be share second call debit to share capital, and that is 4,000 share multiplied by 10, 40,000. And the entry of receiving will be bank account debit to share second call. We are not having any calls in advance now. Okay. Now see one thing. The due of second call is with 40,000 rupees, right? And here it is given that we have found that 200 number of shares have not paid this month. That is 200 multiplied by 10. So 2,000 is calls in area. So if from this 40,000, 2,000 rupees will not be paid, how much money you will receive? Any confusion now? So bank account debit 38,000, then calls in area debit 2,000, and to share second call 40,000. This entry is clear or not? Clear now? Now we have passed all the general entries related to application, allotment, first and final, and we have found that we have a calls in area of 2,000 rupees on 200 shares. These 200 shares will be forfeited by company. Okay. Now what will be the entry for forfeiture that we are knowing, and that is very simple. Debit share capital with the called up amount. Now how much money company has already called? All 100 rupees is already called, right? So called up amount is 100. So that will be, sir, for 200 shares multiplied by 100. 2,000 is the called up amount, right? 20,000. 20,000. Right? Any confusion in this? So 20,000 is the called up amount, and we will do what? We will credit calls in area with the amount which is not received, that is 2,000, and we will credit share forfeiture account with the amount which is already received, and that is 18,000. Any confusion? See one thing. 30 plus 20 plus 40. 90, and 90 multiplied by 200 share. 18,000 we received, 2,000 we not received, and the total called up was 20. Any confusion in this particular general entry? Sure now? Okay. So we have passed the journal entry related to forfeiture of share. Now the company decided to reissue these shares. Okay. Now it is given that company is not issuing all the shares. From this 200, company is issuing only 150 shares. Right. So entry for issue will be what? Bank account debit, share forfeiture debit to share capital. Now if we are issuing 150 shares, so 150 multiplied by, here we will always write the paid up value, right? In the entry of forfeiture, capital will be debited with called up value, and in the entry of reissue, capital will be credited with paid up value. And it is fully paid up. Fully means all 100 rupees. 15,000. Now from this 15, how much money you receive? Sir, we asked for only 90, so you receive only 90. So that will be 13,500. That means we will adjust the discount of 1,500 from share forfeiture account. All the entries are clear now. But now, as from those 200 shares, we have reissued 150. So if any money of those 150 shares in forfeiture account is still left, that should be transferred to capital reserve. Because now that money is of no use. Because those shares are already issued now. Right? Okay, so firstly let's find that amount. To see one thing, we have in share forfeiture account, we have an amount of 18,000. Okay, now see one thing, this 18,000 belongs to how many number of shares? 200. Divided, multiply by 150 shares. Is it clear? So how much that will be? 13,000. Okay. That means when we have forfeited 150 shares from those 200, when we have forfeited that 150 shares, we received a share forfeiture of 13,500. Now in this 13,500, how much money we used? So we used 1,500 of what is the money that is left? Any confusion? This 12,000 is the amount which we can transfer to capital reserve, and entry will be share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account. Any confusion in this entry?